Hey everybody.
Hello.
Let's switch the screen to a little bit more active and engaging. Like
Yeah,
that.
get that.
Take off that text that says starting soon because we are no longer starting soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cozy. I love it.
Yes. Very cozy. I guess technically I can put the music on, but put it super like low key. People can hear the popping of the fire. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
Well,
Let's try
let's give it a
that.
shot. Give it a shot.
Let's do that. Let's give it a
Just
little
make sure to
shout out.
enunciate.
Enunciation. Okay, hey guys, welcome to our still work in progress podcast ReRoll, where we discuss things that happened in the last couple of weeks for our D&D games here on Twitch. We have the Horde of the Dragon Queen game that's DM'd by Vic. We have the Harry Potter game that's DM'd by me, and the Sacred World game that's DM'd by me, all 5th edition. Who do we have here tonight? Can you guys say your names, bros?
I'll let the angel go first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Colton!
Yeah, that's me. I thought you said don't let the angel go first.
I said I'll let the angel go first. Go, man. Just go.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name's Colton. I'm Ariel. Hi.
Hi, Colton. Hi. I'm going to turn up his microphone a little bit more just for the sake of everybody. Okay. And then going down the list, who's that person with that -2 dexterity?
Oh, that's me.
It's
Hey
like,
guys, I'm Lynn. I
like
play
we did.
Grayson. Yeah, he has -2 dexterity.
Yeah. He
Thanks. And he rolled a nat 1 last time, and he got a -1.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was great.
You know
Yeah.
who else also rolled a nat 1?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Horde of the Dragon Queen, every other Monday. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the double of the microphone over there, which the people don't notice because they can't see that there's 2 microphones, whatever. Hi,
Yes.
Tabitha and Vic. You should say hello.
Hello.
One
Yes.
at a time.
What? Hello. Oh my God. Stop nudging me. Hate sharing a microphone.
This is how the podcast is going to continue on, guys.
Oh, absolutely. Hi, I'm Vic. My dog is threatening to bark at every little noise outside the door, so I apologize if he starts barking randomly. So, hi, I'm Vic, and I play in the Sacred World campaign. I play Wes, the human barbarian warlock, and I also am the DM for the Horde of the Dragon Queen on Mondays that we don't do this podcast. Oh, and I'm also on Debbie Plains and Doodles with my bro Lynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Tabitha. I play Aurea on Friday night's game, and I play Janva on the Monday night Horde of the Dragon Queen game.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I am Jesus. I'll try to conduct this marinade of discussion and fail miserably at it. But as is most of my D&D jobs anyway. I play Fox in Horde of the Dragon Queen and DM both the Hogwarts Prep and the Sacred World D&D game.
Buddy.
Yeah, I have a dog who's ready to bark too, but he is currently in the sitting position, and that's where he wants to stay right now, so that's good. So,
My dog is also in the sitting position, but he's just looking right at the door.
I think mine wants food, and I'm gonna pretend to give him some until the very end. So we have it's been a week or so, and things have happened in our D&D games.
So many things.
So many things. Since we don't have anyone for Hogwarts Prep right now, I guess we can kind of skim that over, and if someone eventually joins the conversation, we can, I guess, discuss that. But so I like to let other people talk first because I will continuously talk. So I think that the stage should turn on to the DM for Horde of the Dragon Queen. And we can ask some topics about your game, Vic.
Oh no.
Yeah, since we have 3 players for that game in here, that's
Oh yikes.
that sounds like a wonderful thing to do.
Okay.
So, is there a point or topic that you wanted to start with first?
Oh man, I don't know. They're looking back on the game that we had last Monday. We had a bit of old school combat for once. since a lot of our game was like heavily into role play and mostly just I guess kind of following more of communicating with people and moving the story through that way.
Sure.
Yeah, as it goes.
So what about
Sorry, Grayson ruined that for you.
No, that was wonderful. Actually, that was probably the best use of the command spell I've ever seen. Like force a parlay. That was so cool.
That's actually brilliant.
That was like the biggest power move.
So
he's full of power moves.
I'm trying to like ask questions that aren't leading questions that will like force you to like spoil things in the campaign.
Of course. I have so many things to spoil.
Yeah.
So
your take on the game. You're changing things to fit our characters, right?
Yeah, of course, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Waterdeep being as big as it is, with Baldur's Gate being, the quintessential D&D starting city that is racist against dogs and hooved animals.
Of course.
So, what, from your perspective, Senor DM, what are things that you're changing and things that you're not changing from, like, the module without being, like, too spoilery? Just curious and asking.
Well, I have no point but to be vague. I have no choice but to be vague because I don't have the module sitting in front of me. But, yeah, so I kind of got into the groove of... Because I've run this module before for people.
3 times.
3 times, to be exact. And I'm going to say this is probably probably going to be my favorite rendition so far because I'm forcing myself to go outside my comfort zone, which is modules, and kind of homebrewing a bit here and there and just writing the story in a different direction. Like, structurally, it's going to follow the same plot, but the actual, I guess, the details, trying to think, the cosmetic of it is going to be a little bit different because I like to do this thing. I'm starting to do this thing now where I make you guys tell me things about your characters, like their aspirations and all that good stuff. And I take that and I weave it into the story. And that may or may not be why we're on a ship right now in the middle of the ocean.
Is it because 2 of us are fucking... Well, no, 4 of us are pirates.
3. Yeah, about 3 or 4 of you are pirates, yes.
That might make things...
So I thought it'd be a lot more... I think it would be a lot more favorable to you to have... to have a few sessions where you guys were on the open water, having ship-to-ship combat, having those challenges of being out at sea, and just enjoying the general ambience of it. Instead of being on the because fun fact about this one, because since we've diverged off of it, I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
So slight spoiler. If you wanted to go by the book for this module, what the game would have had you do is you go to Baldur's Gate, and from Baldur's Gate you join a ground caravan and you travel up the coastline on foot, and it takes you 2.5 months in game.
Yes.
Yeah. Takes you 2.5 months in game to get from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep.
And then I'm sure there's adventure.
Oh yeah, there's like a whole like table of adventure, like of random encounters that can happen. So I basically had to take that table and flip it to match what you guys would encounter while out at sea.
Gotcha. Hence the hobgoblins and the pirate ship.
Yeah,
for sure. I always I don't know. I could.
Oh god, there he goes.
Wow, sorry, I have upset you so much. Hopefully Vic can still listen. But it seems like your style of DMing is very not. I don't know, like what's it called? It's not a ReRoll system. It's very open. It's like, well, you do whatever you want to do, and I feel very little pressure to like, oh, hint, go this direction. I don't know if that's an intentional thing or if that's just Vic's always DM like that, or if that's something new that you're doing, because it seems like the story doesn't progress forward until the party wants to make it progress forward.
Okay, so I heard like half of that.
Oh my god, I just spilled my entire
No, it's
heart and
okay.
soul.
No, it's okay. No, yeah, I do get what you're saying about the whole choice of whether to railroad or to just let you run free like cats.
Yeah, I like that.
Which
Run for
I
like cats.
do. I kind of do prefer to let the character and the player have the choice of pushing forward on the plot. Like there will have to be times where I have to like tug the leash and be like, okay, you got to go this way now. But I guess I just don't want to be like I don't want to be like forceful about it. Like, no, you have to do this right now. And sometimes that just doesn't feel fun
Sure.
when you're feeling pressured into a certain scenario.
Sure. Don't be afraid to do that as well.
Well, no, I know.
like-
I've done it. I've done it like a few times, but you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Just as a curious thought, and it's so hard because I've never run a module before, like ever. I've been how I in the old days was taught how to play Dungeons and Dragons was that modules are quote unquote for lazy DMs. That was like the thing at our table, and being brand new to D&D, starting at 3.0 with people that were like already in a D&D, and then and like we were just transitioning to 3.5, so like I learned how to play a system to relearn how to play the same character again really quickly. It was a lot of this is how it's done. This is the only way D&D is done. And it was so much that when I ran my games, like at the beginning, like 14, 15 years ago, I had to run them exactly the way that they did it. And if you didn't play D&D the way that we did it, well, then you weren't a true gamer now, were you? So it's
No, of course not.
which is really weird because until like the last couple of years, it wasn't until I learned that it's a collective story that we're all telling versus the DM has a plan. You guys follow that plan.
No, I much prefer. I put down the bare bones and then I let everyone else tell the story because essentially this is your world that you're playing in.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's after again because like this is the first time I've played as a player in a long time. It was like, oh wow, he's not like forcing me to go somewhere.
No,
He's not like pushing the story along. And it's like, do you want to keep role playing? Okay, keep role playing. Do you want to do this for 3 more games? All right, keep doing it. I'm like,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I guess that's where I would ask to my players, how do you feel about the progression of the game and as compared to other games that you've played in? And I guess this is the part where I also ask if there's anything you think you would like to see more of or something like that.
I don't know. I can't really, I don't know. I don't know if it's appropriate for a player to say such things. Not that like a player can't say I'm not having fun or anything. Like I'm assuming we're all having fun and we're all doing things. It's just so weird. Like what can I say? Oh, mechanically wise, like are we having the adequate amount of fights? Are we getting like not that this is like a thing to not as a complaint, but as like a note that I can see other people complaining about. Fox doesn't give a shit. Fox has high AC and spells, and he is a tank. And also, he just doesn't care about anyone that's living that's not an animal or a plant.
I love Fox with my whole heart.
Fox is... He shouldn't. He's an asshole.
I love Fox with my whole fucking heart, man. He's my favorite
Grandpa Turtle.
He's my favorite grandpa. Okay.
I think Fox is like liking Fox is the same thing as saying I like the Punisher. I'm like, you really shouldn't. He's a horrible human being.
Well,
and he
I would
knows
say
he is.
I would say I like him as a character. It's like, saying I like this person as a character. I wouldn't say I'd agree with half the shit he does, but he's very interesting to watch.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I
that's essentially what I mean.
He is fun to watch.
Yeah.
I dropped the bolt. But. Fuck, what was the conversation? What's the
Fox is an asshole.
Fox is an asshole, apparently. Yes, I mean that's true. Yeah. So like I think I started out the game with like 8 gold and I still have only 8 gold, like I can see how a lot of people.
Yeah, I
would
think
really...
you paid like I think you paid like a silver for a fish once, and that was it.
Yeah, I gave money to food, for rations for everybody.
Yeah.
But I can easily see how people would complain that, like, well, I'm not getting the adequate amount of gold, so like I can't buy weapons and I can't excel, versus like there's other people who inherently just have more money because their story demands that they do, and they're the ones that pocketed the treasure at the time that there was treasure. So like they're buying magical equipment versus Fox is not. Again, not that that is a negative thing, but
It's okay. We can call Berterai out. He's not here.
Fucking that motherfucker. So here's a question from the audience. How do you handle when you like keeping things moving and your players drag their feet on random things? So how me or you?
Well, I'll start since we're talking about Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you handle?
Tadpole's on here.
Oh, Tadpole! Hi, Tadpole. Let's see. How do you handle when you like to keep things moving and your players keep dragging their feet on random things? Oh gosh, because we just talked about how I let everyone just kind of go at their own pace. Usually I will just kind of, through narrative wise, point them in the direction they need to go, just give that little push. If they keep kind of dragging their feet on it, that's usually when you bring the dragon in and destroy the tower and everyone inside of it.
Yeah.
That's what you did?
No, that's actually not why I did that.
I have a very odd way of handling this. And I think it's more because I have not played as much as maybe I would want to in the past fucking 15 years. So that DM's curse. I tell the players straight off the bat, like session 0, and I keep repeating it like because we have conversations after the game all the time about like, oh, that was cool. What about these motivations? I think my character's gonna do this, and like that helps me write. Which thank you very much for doing that. But I'm very clear, and I've said this many times, and I'll continue saying, the villains and the enemies and also the allies of this world have things they want to do and accomplish. They have their own goals. So if you decide that you want to take a little extra time going shopping this morning when I was told that someone was going to get hung that morning, well, then that person is going to get hung.
Wow.
I'm just calling it out as it is.
I don't like this conversation. I want to back out of it.
Fair. Okay, fair.
For Hogwarts prep, they were facing a necromancer who wanted to collect all the key items from each house in Hogwarts. Well, the party... not that like this was a bad choice or a good choice, it was just that was their decision. They were being hunted down by the ministry through some just like mess up information, and they decided to keep low, and they kept low for many months. So I'm not just going to say, well, this dungeon, this whole thing I had for you guys to go into Ravenclaw's lost library is going to like stay there until you guys arrive. No, the villain is going to say, well, nobody's stopping me, I'm gonna go get the fucking tiara. They have a tiara.
The iodine. The iodine of Ravenclaw.
The iodine to stain their clothing.
Starts with a D.
Yeah.
Diadine.
English is a second language. It's hard for me.
Hey, that's totally fair, dude.
Diamonds.
Money.
I give them series of choices plus subtly push them a little to get so the party can discuss narrative. Hey, Tadpole. I like that.
Hey, Tadpole. Nice one. Yeah.
Because I think ours is a little bit different. Just because we are live. That's why shopping, if it's mundane shopping, it's not like an experience thing to encounter a new friend or like a key magic item, or because I made a silly character and I thought it was fun. Usually like we do rations like off the clock or when we're on
Yeah.
break, or like if you want to just sell your stuff, sure, just you sell it, you get what's on the player's handbook. Like we'll just call it even, just because it helps things move along. Um, uh, un- and if there are beats that I want to hit, like none, like this might sound not correct how I wanted to sound, but like let's say there's a real big fight that I want you guys to encounter, like not because I want you guys to fight or I think the game is boring, but because this is key information. I only have a limited amount of space. The setup is done. We've explored as much information as I can possibly think to give for the further missions ahead in these mountains. Let's move on to the swamps. So, we fast forward. Instead of role playing 4 days in the swamps, now you're there. Was there anything you wanted to do? Cool. Let's have that done. And like I also have like sticky notes on behind the DM screens for like this is when we're going on break. This is when we're doing this. The introduction should take this long. And very rarely do I say, okay, we have 20 minutes for roleplay before we jump to this. And only because I know this fight's going to take a long ass time. So I need to make sure that we start the fight after the break, or we start it before the break. Because if we start it before the break, then we're going to have a very long time before you guys get some chance to pee. So like I try to keep those beats to hand. And it's an odd juggle that people, I guess, that do D&D streaming wise have to handle. And I've seen other streamers who like they will I was like, oh well, it's exactly an hour. Now we're pausing. Doesn't matter like where the fight was, or they're a little bit more. I guess them as a group are a little bit more lenient on like having a Coca-Cola product on their table, or like eating pizza, or people walking in and out on the camera shots. Like that's their table and they handle that well, and that's what they want to do. And for ours, I think there's a little bit more scheduled to it, and that's the only thing that I think that might be kind of unfair with keeping a paste like like a toothpaste, keeping to pace with the game. But,
And okay, so here with the players that keep dragging their feet. Also, it says our broadcast ended.
It didn't. Where? Oh wait, it did.
Oh no!
Oh wow. How did it end?
We were having problems with that in the Doodle stream too.
That's probably a Twitch thing then.
Oh boy.
Because it kept telling me we were offline, but we actually weren't. It was weird.
Oh, hold on, let me look at that. Yeah, no, it says network error on the computer.
Yeah, that's probably Twitch right now. Yeah, y'all are down. Okay, all right. Let me stop the recording. We should be live. Everything's good. I just closed everything down. I'm going to open just to make sure. Open this on my phone. Apologies for the.
Yep, it shows we're back online.
Okay, cool. All right, fantastic. On my end, it doesn't. Whatever. All right. So we did have a question that I cannot see because I closed everything down.
Okay, no problem. So it's from it's from Cutie Chain about the players that are dragging their feet. So it says my players keep getting slapped that the villain is doing what he wants, and they're getting a little discouraged by all of the bad things happening. So I'm trying to find a balance.
I would say you have to give them a win. A side quest with when they fight a whole bunch of mushroom folk, and some of them get high, and at the end of them they go to a hot pool and like bathe and can relax. And for one game, not saying write it so they always win, but for one game, give them what they want. Give those endorphins in their brains that says, yes, we did something. We're not just a whole bunch of, I don't know, failures or whatever the situation is. And I wouldn't use that too much, but if it is losing my friends over a dice game, or kind of derailing the story a little bit and metating as a DM, because it's kind of our jobs as DMs to make sure they're having fun, I would highly do that. Because that's happened in like the Sacred World when like I actually heard one of you guys says we need a win. So all right, cool, let's do a hijinks episode where things get a little bit weird. Let's roll up some good characters. Let's introduce Chaddington.
Yes!
Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, Chaddington. Oh, I love him.
Best boy.
Best Chaddington is best boy. I would also
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
like the idea of I'm not seeing any replies on
They-
chat.
Okay, so Tadpole has where it says their players made a fantasy PowerPoint presentation of information that they've gathered from their game and work off of there. That's amazing.
What?
That is some
That's
level
awesome.
of commitment.
That's so cool.
And it says
Oh.
it means I don't have to prepare for much because they've gotten used to just gathering all the info pre-session. They ask me cues and just plug and play.
What? Why don't you guys do that?
Nice.
Sacred World is like the worst note takers. I can tell you that right now
Yeah.
because nobody at that table
My
takes
old
notes, and I
character
know it.
Colton and his note keeping, which is his
His-
character sheet that has
He
erase
keeps all his
marks.
notes on his.
Fucking
I tried
awful.
keeping notes as West, but it was like trying to do it where it was West's journal, but that was already a bad idea because West is terrible at keeping notes.
A thing that
That's
I use.
what Ariel's
Mhm.
gonna do now. Like, I actually bought that leather journal that I bought at Half Price Books. I'm actually going to start like writing it as Ariel. Like, it's his own journal. Like today.
Oh,
was, like,
yeah.
Dragon, blah blah blah, and just kind of fill in that.
I mean, character-wise, you kind of have to. So,
Yeah.
They poisoned an
Yeah,
I'm writing
NPC
a
with
book in game,
cupcakes.
so.
oh,
I
that's
did
so
that
cool.
in my old campaign with Grayson. I think he has like 50 or 60 entries from the start of the game.
So, how bad are your notes for Horde of the Dragon Queen, Lynn?
My notes are great, thank you.
I mean, content-wise.
Oh, it's fine. Like, I get by.
Oh, also,
I still have
would
to link you his journal for this campaign too. I keep
Oh,
forgetting.
yeah, you did. Yeah.
for going back on like discouraging players, I would also try to like I don't know, like let's say they're like story wise, the beat of the story we can't just derail from this dungeon. Do little fun things like when they they come upon a room that has these puzzle with orbs that you need to solve, but every time they solve an orb, whoever solves it gets that fucking Skittles, man.
Get the
Or,
Skittles.
Yeah, or change it up a little bit. Well, like this I'm totally stealing from Satine Phoenix. Or like, okay, today when we attack, we're not going to roll dice. Here's a rubber band, and here is a cup, and this is what you hit. If you hit this far, it's a critical, and like change it up a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, they keep breaking their dungeons.
They keep breaking their dungeons.
Yeah, the players keep breaking Cutie Ching's dungeons.
What? Why? How do they
So-
do that?
I'm starting to think I'm a shit DM. No, you're not.
No.
No.
No, you're not a shit DM. I will tell everybody the most discouraging thing ever. You're no better or no worse than any DM out there. I don't care who they are, how glorious their hair is. You're all the same DM.
Excuse me, my hair is very glorious. Thank
Oh
you.
my god, I know.
Thank you. Not as glorious as this DM that runs a game for me Friday nights.
What? Oh,
Like his hair is pretty legendary.
I mean, that's just genetics. I fear the next 10 years if I start going bald.
Oh, God.
I might just seppuku and just call it a day.
No.
But like, how do they I guess quote unquote destroy your dungeons? Like what's up?
Because I know I had, I guess while we wait for an answer, I know in a game the bard managed to roll, and I think it was on me because I should have just kept making the DC higher. But in my campaign, the bard rolled super high on a persuasion / flirtation check, and she persuaded the guard of the dungeon to give her a tour.
So here's the thing, right? That's awesome. I love that. That
was pretty smart.
That's no. I don't know what the context is, and I'm just like I'm assuming the same characters in like my world. No, why the fuck would the guard do that? Like, well, I rolled a natural 20 on persuasion. They're a human being who knows when shit's gonna get real. Who is their boss? Is their boss gonna be okay with you giving them? Are you giving the fucking blowjob? Is there a lot of cocaine involved? Like, why? How much persuasion was involved in that?
You want to know what the persuasion was?
Sure.
Boobies.
No, no,
Oh.
no,
No.
no. As a man
It
who
was the
likes the
boobies.
boobies, no. It's no. I'm not going to. Who is the villain of this dungeon? If it's a beholder, fucking no. I don't care if you're the hottest person in the
Yeah.
world. No. I'm gonna stab you. Or
To be fair, it was like a level 1 dungeon, so that was like a one-time
I
thing.
understand fun is fun. I completely understand that. Like if that's the way that you guys play and everyone's having fun and you're like, you did it. Like the DM is part of the joy of the game. Like totally. But let's see. The NPCs have their motivations and they are there because they're paid / fearful of their elements. Well, then let's work with that. I know this isn't exact, but to continue on with the persuasion thing, if they're afraid or being paid for it, how much are they being paid? How much is a persuasion? I think in 3.5 there was
who's like like you said, like who's in charge of the dungeon? Who's the one that's lording over them?
Yes, exactly. There was
The good cop, bad cop to these kobolds hard, man. One of them terrified them so badly they wanted to do whatever that PC wanted. Oof.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me of back in the Beholder Tower, where we had that goblin that I remember Laz wanted to keep as a pet, and we thought that we had him as our lackey, and he just was like sending us into a trap anyway, because he's a stupid little goblin.
I mean, yeah, that's
Exactly.
what he would do. There is a which like totally manipulates how you want. But in 3.5 there was like a friendly and fearful chart where like
I liked that.
where like most people that you interact with are just neutral to you, and if you're good or bad to them, like it sways one or two ways to like either yes, they're totally your best friend or they want to kill you. Like when you start as enemy, they're pretty much wanting to kill you, and you need several like high diplomacy checks against them to try to like make them, I wouldn't say super friendly, but at the very best using their information, who's their employer, how afraid of them they are, how much money they're getting. Like they can totally sway them to saying, at least I'm neutral to you. I'm not going to harm you. I didn't see you come in. I'm not going to report that you came in. If you guys die, that's your fault. But I'm not reporting you. Or if like your kobolds, if they got all the intimidation checks, and that this is like the fourth one that they get a high number on, and the kobold just keeps getting natural ones. Yeah, total. That one scene in Iron Man 3 when he's like, dude, I just work here. Everyone here is weird. Puts down his gun and runs away from Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's good stuff to keep in mind, especially when you have characters with stupidly high charisma like Grayson in your campaign.
Hey now.
And I would say that if it is like communication is a number one issue, number one anti-issue. Communication helps the best with your play. If like this is something that like, hey, like guys, I've noticed blah 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 blah, and then that opens up the discussion for everyone to talk. Like, oh, well, I didn't know that my character was doing that. I'm sorry, man. Or it could go to horror really bad. I'm like, well, that's my character, and that's how they roleplay. I'm like, yeah, you're being a dick though. Stop it. It's about fun.
It's about fun, yeah.
And not saying that you should always do this, but it's also not inappropriate to say, well, if you guys keep diplomacy your way through the dungeons, let's put a dungeon where there's no way you can diplomacy your way out of. There's a whole bunch of
nothing
oozes
but
and
gelatinous
aboleths.
cubes.
Yeah,
just nothing but gelatinous cubes. Can't diplomacy a gelatinous cube.
Or build a dungeon where they have to accommodate themselves to the dungeon. Like, well, the dungeon's on water, and you absolutely need to. So, like, it's going to be hard to break it. But if they do end up away from, like, oh, I'm just gonna cast breathe with water for 8 hours. Cool. You're not breaking it. You're using resources and draining spells to be able to accommodate yourself to this dungeon, which is marvelous.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, I wanted you guys to do it this way and go underwater in this location. I don't know.
Just as planned.
Yeah, and it's also just to be fair, it is also unfair for other DMs to pick and point at things that other DMs are doing and say that is wrong, or I would do this in that situation, because everything is case by case scenario. The moments, the players, how your emotion was that morning. Were you hungry? Did work suck? Did you almost get hit by a car? Like all these things factor into like that one game, that one session, and it's take everything that we say with a grain of salt. Because maybe all the advice that we're giving you won't fucking work because your table is completely different from our table. As note that you're not doing anything wrong. You're never failing as a DM. The only time that I would say you did something wrong was if you say something as a DM and then we're like, oh shit, that's not what I wanted to say, but they kept going, and then the entire game you're regretting that one thing you said, but you won't stop yourself, and the progression of the story leads you a different direction. Like you saying, "Oh, the king is dead." You're like, "Well, no, he should at least have a death save." And then you're like, "No, the king's dead." And then you're like, "But I really need him alive." In your head, you're debating and arguing with yourself. That's not a failure either. That's just, like, well, guys, let's pause the game for a little bit. I think I kind of messed, and it's totally okay to say I kind of messed up. Let's rewind things, because the players do that all the time. Every single game, 5 of them. One was like, "Oh, I didn't know he had a shield up. If that was the case, I would have used this instead of that." I'm like, but you did.
As it goes.
Hopefully, my ranting helped a little bit on the thingy.
So, does that mean we're going to get into our topic for the night now?
Hashtag Monster Lives Matter. I think is the conversation of tonight.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a little early to get into the conversation of tonight, but let's do it because it also kind of has a lot to do with Sacred World as in general. So let's do that.
It falls into Sacred World. A little bit of, I would say, also a little bit of Horde of the Dragon Queen. How I'm playing things.
Yes. So here's I have a question for you.
And I know you're not awful.
Senor DM. What?
Yes.
Who the fuck said they're awful?
Anna, I swear.
You are not awful, and I oh my god, if I could send you a virtual hug, I would, and a wagging finger. Nobody's awful.
I mean, if you wanna workshop how to make, totally DM us on Twitter or something.
Yeah,
we'd be happy to help out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how knowledgeable I am of things, but I would be glad to assist in any way possible.
Yeah.
Because you're not awful. How dare you?
Okay, Chad.
How dare you speak that way to my friend? Vic.
Yes.
You have a very unique way that you run your races in Dungeons and Dragons.
Do what?
Races, like playable races in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I find that you have a unique way, and I'm. This can go to like a whole bunch of like sub-political discussions as well, but I'll keep it as neutral as I can. With discussion of D&D is essentially a fantasy game that we can create ourselves and project heroes and project other things and like work out issues, etc. One of the things that I learned really fast in your game, which kind of like threw me for a loop, not that that it was a like bad loop or anything, but just like, oh wow, okay, I didn't know that was a thing, cool, I'll adjust my roleplay, is how races are treated. It sounds like in your games, a very like everybody is I want to like equal, like your social and political status, like monarchs and kings, that that aside, like everybody's born equal. Everyone has the same equal rights. Drow are not discriminated. Tieflings are not discriminated. A turtle is not discriminated. They're not weird. So on that again, Monster Lives Matter. That whole discussion of what is your comment or your view, and not that your point is wrong in any way, shape, or form, just a curious thought. What is your stance on it not being realistic? The Drow serve and like again, you're DMing your game, it's your world, but the Drow serve a quote unquote evil queen. The reason
course.
why the drow exists is because the elven god betrayed them, and this evil queen was the only thing that gave them physical form and matter. So, with that, they devote themselves entirely to Loth. Now, are they evil, etc.? Like, that's a different discussion. But tieflings literally look like demons and devils, and in this world, God is real and hell is real, and these things are physically in your face. There is intangible proof that there's good and evil. There are creatures that torture and eat flesh for fun. Like, with that being said, little Bobby Joe over there sees tiefling like, hey, want to buy some apples? What goes through your head
So
with that?
I talked about it a bit on the Demiplanes and Doodles towards the end.
Oh my god,
but
it's like I missed out on the whole thing.
I know you missed it, bro. You missed it. So I kind of treat it in the way of I guess it's more of I'm seeing them more as individual people. Like, nobody has a choice in how they're born.
Sure.
And I know, like, reflecting with real life, we all face different prejudices in any way, like in different ways, or same ways sometimes. But I know for a fact that, if say you had something like that happen to you in real life, and then you come to the table and the same thing's happening to you, I guess I just think in mind of my players I don't want them to feel that kind of real life discomfort.
Yeah,
I want them to feel like they have a chance to have a voice at the table and to just play without, with reckless abandon without having to give second thought of, oh, but I can't do this because of, certain racial thing. Like, it's
sure.
Yeah. So I guess I just want to treat it as, everybody. Yeah. Like I said, the people, the people, especially in D&D, tieflings have no choice in how they're born.
Yeah.
They, especially because it's like, you can have it like 500 years back in your generation and like in your family, and then you're the first tiefling born in like 500 years, like that. And then everyone treats you like shit for it, but you had no control over it.
Yeah, sure.
So I guess it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe I just won't have it this way in my game.
Because it's a beautiful thing that your game doesn't have that. I can see other sides of the argument discussing other things.
Well, yeah, of course.
But like, so in your game, please stop me if I'm putting words in your mouth.
Okay.
It sounds like the society has evolved in a way to, at least under racial discrimination, has been erased.
Yeah, I would say it kind of like that. I would also say it in the sense of, because we're playing in Faerun, so Faerun is already so culturally and racially diverse that I guess it's just one of those things where it's accepted of, we're all going to be different and we're all going to be a little weird.
Sure.
So we're going to just roll with it.
Okay, which is cool. It gives a I'll have a backstory to come with this, where I was a drow in a D&D game for very malicious reasons, and people didn't like me for it because I was not playing at the correct table at that time. But I'll get to that story in a minute. Which is for the people that says, well, that's not how real life works.
Of course not. That's why I'm running a fantasy game at a table.
We already
dice.
Like, the second that you sit down and play D&D, you're already in a fantasy world that doesn't exist.
I'm playing a fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah, or like even a little bit more like to home, we're like, okay, this woman can have a job. Like that would not have been acceptable in the Middle Ages. Like little things like that, which is, it's cool.
Female blacksmiths.
That truck. I like their opinion. Their opinion was very valid in our conversation. Versus, so like in my world, there are things like, well, there is a tiefling. People are going to discriminate on tiefling because it's specifically in like Sacred World. We're toying with the idea of what does it truly mean to be evil and what does it truly mean to be good.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Like, are you nature versus nurture? Are you inherently born evil, or are you inherently born good? like we're slowly like dissecting that little thing in various different ways with dis at the moment, and the more you guys dig on other things, the more you can see like, oh, like we can also branch on discussion with the dragon in a minute, because that's kind of how I wrote it. But it's like what, that's why I like D&D. Let's ask this very hard ethical question that will not be answered. What does it truly mean to be evil? What does it truly mean to be good? What is ethics versus what is morally correct? The ethical truth versus the moral societal boos and yays of what we demand is good and not. It was immoral for women to have pants, like not that long ago, and that's really stupid nowadays. But you know, it's technically immoral in this set or these codes for this one minute thing to happen, and that ethic will not go away. Versus these social morals, yes or nos, will go easily away. So like, let's tackle these discussions. To go to a story, like I had a friend who will not be named, who played a drow. And their drow was fucking Harley Quinn. Was just like,
oh, no.
I can do whatever I want, and I'm sassy, and I'm so pretty, and I'm always smart, and like that's the way they played it. And I joined the game halfway through, and in my head, and this is what you shouldn't do as a D&D player. I'm like, that is not how you play a drow. Drow are supposed to be sneaky assassins, and like this is back when I was a fucking idiot. And so this whole time I quote unquote hated her drow because they were quote unquote playing it wrong, and that's a very stupid thing to do. And in their game, there was so much more fun. It was about who can give the biggest meme at the end of the day. It wasn't about XP. It wasn't about treasure hoarding. It wasn't about solving the great mystery. It's about having fun on this world, and let's tackle this box that changes your race and sex because that's fun. Like it was just a fun group having nachos and playing D&D. That's all they were. And so couple years later, I still have that, oh, they didn't play a drow correctly how I have it in my head when I DM, so I'm gonna play a drow. And by the end of the campaign, I assassinated the elf and imprisoned everybody else. And they were like, wow, that's not fun for anybody. You're an asshole. I'm like, but that's how drows are supposed. I was playing my character. And I was like, oh shit, no, I'm being a fucking asshole. Which is why I think about these things and how Janva has not been pellet or like has been like discriminated against just because she is a drow, which is cool. And like I see pictures of somebody had a drawing in like on the D&D art forum with like an elf with horns or something like that. I forgot what it was, or like maybe a tail, something like
elves can have tails, bro.
Yeah, something different. And people are like, that's not how an elf is. Elves don't have tails. Like, it's not your fucking game. Let them draw their character how they want.
My latest experience was on a page, and somebody drew a female dragonborn, and everyone, dragonborn aren't supposed to have boobs.
I mean, it's
like it's their character. They can do what they want with it.
What about tieflings can't be blue?
Tieflings can't be blue. Oh yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, we have.
It's. You're playing in a world where I say bibbidi bobbidi boo, and then missiles come out of my hands. Tieflings can be blue, bro. Science and physics.
Tieflings can be blue, bro.
Don't. And like, if you don't like tieflings being blue because you feel that there's like, I saw it and they were red and slightly pink when I saw it in 3.5, then cool. Okay, let's trace back to AD&D or first edition. Tieflings were white skinned.
Yeah.
And they didn't look as weird and like pseudo-satanic as they do now. They just look like maybe a little bit prettier Fun or Satyr, however you want to pronounce it. So like, suck a dick. No, but if like, a thing like in your campaign, you didn't say, hey, all races, like, because that's not like normally a thing that you like, oh yeah, if you're a tiefling, you're not gonna get discriminated. That wasn't like session 0 discussion. And same thing with mine. You guys all interacted with drow, and you saw the severity and the brutality that the drow community has.
Yeah.
And like Wes faced that, like, you know, physically face first.
He did.
And like the nicest drow there was one that says, I guess I won't kill you because you're too much fun. Like, that was the nicest one. And
that was a compliment I took well.
And that's not to really make or say anything politically, like on how like anyone should be treated on, but like Senvin was a drow. And I'm like, that's totally fine. You can be whatever race you want. But here, and like me and Rana, we had like 3-hour discussion. Like, if you're a drow out in the real world and you need to like have your eyes be adjusted, like your skin needs to have been like treated and trained so like you can survive out in the sun. We need to have like a magical item just to let you be able to see in the sun. Like we need reasons. Why did you leave the society? Because some might even say that you're brainwashed, or you can have like Stockholm syndrome being a male in the drow society, especially if you're not a wizard or a warrior. You're a monk. Okay, well, you went to a monastery and you were trained to open your mind, like you were treated as equal, and so you go out in the world, like, so like the huge discussion. Same thing with Tabitha when we were talking about Luxodons. Like, this is not a normal race. There's about 40 of you in this world. You will be looked at weirdly because in this world we're hitting hard questions. Are you evil because of the way you look? Are you bad because of how you were born? A deterministic way of looking at the world. Do these factors make you inherently bad? So going on to the dragon. If we're ready to have that discussion.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask, have Tabitha put some input in, like, circling back to the whole choosing drow as a character.
Yeah.
So when you were building your character for Horde of the Dragon Queen, why was it you decided to play a drow? What? Don't look at me. Answer the question.
Oh god, how do I answer that?
I like their pointy
like,
ears.
What?
No, I did want to play a class that was, but I mean, not a class.
And you were playing a cleric as well, like a drow cleric.
Yeah,
who wasn't a cleric of law.
Yes, I wanted to, I guess, kind of challenge myself with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe also in the fact of how much, guess in a way, Oria kind of shit talk drow.
Oh, so you wanted to go
I wanted to go opposite.
So you wanted to see how the other side went.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then again with playing a drow, I wanted to go on the idea of, okay, you have this drow. How would it have gone if she literally was pretty much kicked out of the Underdark?
Kicked out of the Underdark at like a super young age.
Exactly, because, oh god, you are not fitting the mold of what we want you to be.
Oh my god, I dropped something.
You're better off dead, sort of thing. And then you have this little drow that discovers all the stuff that's, outside of the Underdark. Granted, at the same time, yeah, she did that, but she also found, not the best place to end up.
Yeah.
And she was within the cult of the dragon for majority of the years of her life.
So you went from one bad society to another.
But I also can argue... what were you going to say, Jesus?
I'm kind of surprised she wasn't just killed flat out. But that's also me inputting how I read drow run their society and how... like, it would be done in quote-unquote my game. Like, that pseudo, I want to say elitist, but, like, pseudo, like, oh, this is how it's done. Like, and my brain jumped to, like, oh, wow, they didn't just flat-out kill her. Damn. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you have to be this level to unlock the story.
I know, so that's the same, like, well, there are reasons for that.
Yeah,
there actually are reasons.
Well, which awesome. Cool.
Which legit story reasons that you have the potential to find out about.
I don't know if Fox really cares.
I know Fox doesn't care.
He's just like, oh, you're here. Yeah, humans.
Yeah, what's up, Grayson? What's your input on that?
Yeah.
What? Just I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
hey, no, don't start.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
yeah, again, I liked it for the challenge, and I liked it for the idea of playing a race that is normally kind of, I guess, put under the mantle of drow bad.
Drow bad, yeah. Drow. The That's literally the sign. Drow bad.
And I wanted to play a character. I wanted to play I plan on at some point later, depending on whatever game it's going to be. I want to play an alignment that is technically considered lawful evil.
So I'm gonna just, as somebody knowing what both of your dexterity scores look like, you weren't at all swayed by the dexterity mod for Elven class, were you?
No, yeah, that may be too.
Did you? Oh, do you guys do that? Oh, that's weird. Because I have roll the modifiers and then pick class and race.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I pick class and race before the dice even roll. This is what I'm playing.
Well, no, yeah. She picked class and race first, and then we rolled the dice.
Oh, okay.
But I think when she was looking at the stats for Drow, she saw the dex mod, and she's like, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'm paying for it with my constitution, so
That's okay.
I mean,
We make do.
Because it's funny because I play the game when I play and I roll for Janva, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I actually have a plus whatever in perception because I'm actually proficient in perception. And then I roll, and I'm like, God, Janva, Oria's not even proficient in perception. She rolls.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just stuff like that, but
also,
so,
I mean, yeah, it's levels also help a lot.
levels do help.
mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know how well
Unless you're
levels will
Grayson.
help. Yeah. So, Grayson, how'd you feel rolling that -2?
You know, it's funny. Everyone gives him crap for having his -2 dex mod, but it has become one of his most beloved flaws and character traits.
I think it's like the cutest quirk he has.
Yeah.
I
He has
love
so
it.
much like he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it just became part of who he is. So
Yeah.
I do not mind his dex at all.
So, speaking on that,
Yes.
which I have a thing that I still see some players even like at my table do this. It's not like, but
Yeah.
playing your character according to their stats versus what the ideal you had in your mind. Like,
Yeah.
So Fox is an asshole, but like,
Of course.
him having a high wisdom is not going to change that. He still tries to give like a pseudo therapy here and there, and he knows a lot. And not that he's smart or like knows like he won't know I don't know. Like he won't know what this arcanic symbol means or like what does this name mean. But like he can read people well. He knows when someone's having an issue.
Yeah.
He knows when someone's having a bad day. He knows who the leader is, what their body movements are. So I roleplay him as such. He has maybe a little too much, but he has shit dexterity, not -2, unfortunately.
He's literally a turtle.
He's a turtle, so we roleplay him slow. He's
slow. He's stubborn. He's stalwart.
yeah. But because he's so wise and he knows people
Hey.
look at him when he talks, he thinks he has high charisma, even though he has +0. So he's going to assert himself as the diplomat of the group. It's only
mean,
because he
in all-
has what?
Now, I was gonna say, I mean, in all fairness, you have, I think, one character who thinks he has the highest charisma and he listens to what he has to say.
Wait,
Birdo.
one more time because you cut
Burbo.
off. Burbo. Oh, Burbo has the highest.
Oh, no, not okay. Dog's full of shit right now. Hey, no. Well, no. Well, not Burbo, but I'm gonna point back to last game where Fox had a discussion with a young awkward tiefling.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I greatly enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
And then the follow up with Grayson, and I'm like, this is amazing. So much good character stuff happening.
Yeah, I had a very drunk conversation with the babe about Fox at a bar, and it went too far into how Fox looks at things. Like, man, he's a depressing motherfucker, isn't he? Which we can have a different day. That's not the topic of today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're supposed to be talking about alignments and shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, we are supposed to be talking
Yeah.
about alignment.
Yeah. So
Dragon did nothing wrong.
So-
Anyways.
no. So here's the thing. Let me as a DM explain what I wrote, how I wrote things, and maybe possible trajectories like things could have gone. And
Should
let's
I-
see
should I
if
open-
you're what's up?
I was gonna say, should I open with what the actual textbook definition of alignment is for the game?
Yeah,
and then
do
we
it.
go with
Sure.
what we think.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right, so it says under here for alignment, a typical creature in the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons has an alignment which broadly describes its personal attitude. A combination of one identifies morality, good, and the other describes attitudes towards society and order, lawful, chaotic, or neutral. Thus, 9 distinct alignments define the possible combinations. So, that's what it says for the book.
Okay. So I will also argue that alignments can change day to day. As a general, we will be like, I don't know, let's say someone clicks neutral good.
Yeah.
Generally, they're going to be neutral good. But there might be one day where they're lawful good and one terrible day where everything went wrong and they went chaotic evil for a split second. That decision should morally conflict with what they view. We've all done something where like, oh, fuck, I should have done something about this. I should have given that guy the $5. It really didn't mean anything to me. And like, I heard on the news that that exact same guy like got injured, didn't have enough food, and like, man, I could have saved his life. I would have just given him $5 and I didn't. And like, now I feel like shit. Did I really need that Chipotle that day? I could have saved someone's life for one fucking bowl of Chipotle. Like, that decision, exaggerated as it is, like, is something that we can face in D&D, where like your character is chaotic good or neutral good or even lawful good, but they didn't do that one thing, and that's going to like hurt them. When people,
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I was gonna point to the moment in Sacred World where Aurea had that snap moment where she was very harshly interrogating one of the bad guys by constantly poisoning them, constantly restoring them, constantly poisoning them, constantly restoring them.
Badass.
That was a moment.
That was a moment. And then the moment that everybody is apparently forgetting, where she literally flat out killed the drow, and Jesus was like, okay, I need you to put a tally on your character sheet, which it's still there. I just titled it Aurea losing her shit.
I mean,
tallies.
I have a odd way of thinking. It maybe nothing that I've ever like told you guys. Me and the Harry Potter group discuss it a lot, specifically with like the Habala Cadabra spell, which is technically power to kill. Harry can wave his wand and say it all he wants. He's not gonna kill anybody. It needs to taint his soul to do that. So like, what does that mean? What there are souls. Ariel is a explicitly thing that says there are souls. This is a thing that says there are souls. These things are maybe not tangible, but they're real. They're metaphysically real things. These are energy sources. These are good exists. The power of good exists. The power of evil exists. Technically, also the power of neutrality exists. But that's a weird one, and I don't really play it. So when you do something like that, when Aurea does, because she needs to defend her daughter, she needs to get back to Ravnica, she needs to save her family, she needs to save her new friends, and she needs it now. Like, that urgency, her soul is getting tainted. Now, how many creatures and monsters and people have you guys killed?
So many.
That should taint your soul as well. We don't really go there because it's the game of D&D. And in D&D, you get experience points by killing monsters. But you're still taking a life. You're ending somebody.
I could cut in right now.
Yeah, please do.
No, and I've been thinking about that a lot more, and with that mindset, with a game that came out, a few years ago?
Which one?
Undertale.
Oh, Undertale, that's right.
Yeah.
That was a game that made you sit there and question that theory of...
You know, because you usually go into a game, and the objective of the game is kill monsters and level up.
Yes.
And then Undertale flipped that on its head, and it says you can kill monsters if you want to, but that's not the only option. And it might not be the best option.
Yeah. So there's two things with that. Undertale was I would like even classify it as like a social experiment on specifically how we intake games as a media, because we do.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. that social experiment might not work for every single game. If your game is not built on the option A or option B, like D&D is built on defeating the foe. Yes. Whatever that means. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the foe is not going to, like, I don't know, if you guys go to the Abyss, they're not, if Ariel says, all right, I'll spare your life, that demon is immediately going to Frieza and attack him the second Ariel turns away. Yeah. Because these creatures are rage incarnate. These people are, I say people when I should say entities, are good and evil. That good incarnate, that evil energy versus that pure good energy. So, like, where do we find that balance? Also,
that's something Ariel like struggles with. No, not really struggles with, because being a paladin of Pelor and an angel, his whole duty is to extinguish and vanquish evil wherever it presents itself. But also, he's not going to be like a crazy murder hobo, because that's also not very angelic and not right. Like that, I think the most recent example of that was probably when we fought the Stormlords, and that one was unarmed and he surrendered essentially. So Ariel's like, he understands this person is not a good person, but you pose no threat to anyone. You've surrendered. You understand the severity of your actions. Go free. And then he was cut down, and Ariel had a problem with that. So it's kind of like, that's where he is with the whole killing, not killing thing. So he knows when there's a right time to kill, when there's not a right time to kill, essentially, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no,
I know Wes. Yeah, Wes had a problem with it, but in a different way. And just not a generally cool way either. With the whole killing enemies and say about it tainting your soul. My input to that being stop gesturing to me. I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. Just the whole tainting your soul thing. Especially what's going on with Stormlords in West. That is when I do keep in mind that whenever he's killing a Stormlord, that is something that is 100% sticking with him. And as DM, you've got full freedom to utilize that however you want.
There's things in motion.
Okay.
But it's a really, and I will 100% say, part of the this is all pretend, obviously.
No, it's not.
What?
How dare you?
There's been like things on like the specific subject of killing, killing the enemy in here. How many fucking studies has there been on like video games don't actually cause more violence, movies don't cause more violence, during the satanic panic and all that stuff for D&D, it doesn't. D&D is actually a great social skill to explore and solve problems. We're discussing the very ethics of a theoretical fight. Like, if that's not, I think, a great way to educate our minds, what is, right? Just because I like this conversation. But I will say, though, the fun of D&D, not necessarily the fact that, I killed the Goliath. It's me and my friends were working together to overcome a problem, to solving the problem. And a little bit of gambling involved in there too, because the roll of the dice, that endorphin feeling when like, I got a nat 20, like that rush of excitement. But you're tactically moving out of the way, you're using the correct spells, you're diplomacying in the right way, you're flanking, like you're using tactics, you're problem solving, you're succeeding, you're being rewarded by it. And you get the endorphins of the dice rolls, you get XP, you get gold. So like these are all positive reinforcements we get. And I will say that even though, I think if Jesus wasn't like me, myself, probably like RIL Jesus was in the game of D&D, they would not go out and kill. They would go out and try their entire best in their lives to just diplomacy and end wars and try to come and make people unify themselves. But that being said, and how amazing that sounds, and how that is like the dopest thing you can do in the world, when we're playing the game, it's not as fun. I hesitate to say that a purely 100% all lawful good characters that stop all fights by like saying, "Hey, bro, lay down your weapon." Like, we don't need to do that against these vastly diverse races and creatures and monsters and creeds and entities and gods and philosophies and other planes of existence, where an aboleth does not care about your mortal life or what consequences happen in this dimension because it's from a different plane of existence. Like, sorry, I don't care about this anthill in my yard. I need to mow it. So, like, that is a very minute discussion for me. And so, like, it's really hard when you treat all lives as equal in Dungeons & Dragons because there's going to be that kobold that knows how to build that gigantic trap to destroy that one city, but he's too stupid to know how bad that is. So, like, what do we do then? Again, I don't think D&D would be as fun if you didn't fight the monsters and win the game. And sometimes I explicitly... it's really easy, the cognitive distance and thought when it comes to, fighting a Stormlord is a little tricky. It is humanoid. It has a face. We can read its expressions. We know when it's happy. We know when it's sad. Versus fighting a elemental, who it is just a gigantic half of a mountain. It's easy for us to get lost and say that is the enemy. That is a creature that does not look like us. It's easier for us to want to save a gnome who is cutesy and has big eyes versus the orc who is known to be a savage and like eats people and like it's easier for us to go save the gnome than it is to go save the Goliath or the orc. It's easier for us to say maybe we should discuss the fight before we face off the elves versus let's go kill that dragon.
Okay. No, just when you mentioned the gnome, it made me think of a very specific thing. Hey, Lynn.
Yes.
Should we tell them about Pitter Patter?
Oh,
Please
God, no.
Tell me about Pitter Patter. I think
no.
Pitter Patter and me will become great friends.
No. Okay.
Do it.
So Pitter Patter was this. It's a halfling town.
Okay.
Real, cute and Underhill.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
sure.
a cute little halfling town
of course.
that the squad rolled up in, and it was basically this happy, chipper little town, and they all got kind of swept into one of their town meetings. And when they got into the town and they were sitting in like the little church area, the little halfling went up on the stage and he's like, "All right, it's time for our monthly sacrifice. Everyone give a round of applause to Jessica. She gave us her newborn son last month, so we got a gift basket for you out back." Like, they were completely twisted.
That is amazing, and I love that. Oh,
like,
in a very twisted, fucked way. Oh,
yeah, they were so nonchalant about doing it. And the fact that it was this cutesy little town was just fantastic.
That is great, dude. Excellent story. So much props to that. That's fantastic. Now I can never use that. It's in my head forever.
No, that's what it was. I was like, what does that remind me of? And I was trying to figure out what it was, what show it was from. I think it was... I think y'all watched The 100.
No.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. There's an episode that's like that. I think it's The 100, I'm pretty sure. Where the main character, Clark, and all them, they go to a place, and it's like a settlement, and they're like, oh, this is amazing. And they also think, maybe it's too good to be true. And it's the people are like, all right, they get together, and it's like this great big festival thing. All right, they're sacrificing themselves for us and the greater good, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it's almost exactly like that. So it made me think of.
Oh, sounds amazing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Happy True Friends. I don't know if you guys ever read the comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Of cutesy being really fucked up.
Yep.
So
that's always a fun trope.
It is. So hey Vic, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Okay. Can you read me what chaotic evil is?
Sure, absolutely.
You know
This
how
is
to read
always fun.
words. Yes.
I know. That's doubtful.
Debatable.
Whoever can read well under pressure, because I
You're
can't.
asking Wes. You're asking Wes to read.
I'm asking Vic.
Okay.
You are two
For
different
the record,
entities.
while I look
No,
up
they're not.
chaotic evil. while I look up Chaotic Evil, I just want to say IRL Vic in Dungeons and Dragons would 100% consider adventuring, but then decide, you know what, I'm going to buy some land for and have a farm. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, I feel that more or less IRL me would be pretty much like Fox, just not as dickish and with less power because
and I know I would 100% be Zephyr for sure. Okay, so Chaotic Evil, as we all know it, CE. Creatures act with arbitrary violence, spurred by their greed, hatred, or bloodlust. Demons, red dragons, and orcs are chaotic evil.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says in the book?
Yeah.
It is 5e?
This is 5e.
Holy shit, I don't know.
I can take a picture of it for you.
Nah, I'm fine with that. I have another one. Chaotic evil characters tend to have no respect for rules or other people's lives or anything but their own desires, which are typically selfish and cruel. They set high value on personal freedom, but not have much regard for the lives or freedom of other people. Chaotic evil characters do not work well in groups because they resent being given orders and usually do not behave themselves unless there is no alternative. Examples of alignments include undead, such as liches, and violent killers who strike pleasure rather than profit. So that's the book. I thought that sounds so...
Yeah, if you want, I can read through what all the alignments say in this book.
I don't know. Like, I understand that as like the standard like fantasy trope, but it sounds like closed-minded for where 5e is right now. So okay. I have another theory, and throughout our entire discussion, and this isn't mine. This is something I read from a person who likes to dissect D&D in a way smarter way than I can ever do. So Dungeons and Dragons, as we look at things, is this is my interpretation, and then we'll go to his. So it's explored the way as humans do. When you pick human as your race, it's zeros. You get no pluses, no minuses, nothing, right? It's because that is how we are. We're no stronger than an orc. Orcs are stronger than us, so orc gets the +2. But a halfling is weaker than us, they get the -2. So, like, the world of D&D, it's explained through our eyes as humans because that's what we are, that's how we relate to things. We can sympathize with an elf, we can pretend to know what an elf thinks, but we will never truly know what an elf actually thinks. Because as much as we want to, we will never live to be 700 years old. We will never know what that really means. We can like armchair philosophy our entire lives and pretend to, but we will never truly know the pain of letting a human loved one go and us living 2 to 3 times our lifetimes. Or maybe it's really that easy. And
that's why I pick humans to play in D&D, is because they have that sense of urgency, essentially.
Yeah. Sense of urgency, reckless abandon.
Yeah, because Grayson knows he's going to die, and all his friends and his loved ones are going to outlive him.
Yeah. I stick with the
How
I think
are
one
his
of my
friends and loved ones going to outlive him if he's human and they all have the same lifespan?
Wait, what? What?
If he's a human, he's going to live human lives, right?
Yes.
How is his friends and loved ones going to outlive him? Because your friends are a drow? Is that what you're saying? Or did you slowly accidentally spill something from your character's backstory?
What? No. He's a human. He has friends.
Yes, and
he has friends.
All right, I'm making this harder than it should be. I forgot. John was your friend.
I just want to bring up. Yeah, I just want to bring up the whole. Though I think one of West's moments that stick with me is when we were in Corvassa and encountering the king, and the king was just like, what are you, stupid? Are you asking to die? And West is like, every goddamn day.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. So that's where he's at on that mentality.
I ruined Lynn's train of thought, and I apologize. I feel like
no, you're good. You're good.
I will go to my corner.
But no, that is a very real thing. That I guess when you're playing from a human perspective, especially if you're adventuring in a party where you have drow or elves or loxodon, or an angel, who's over 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by angel standards, he's a baby.
I mean,
Um,
that's up for debate, but yeah. We can have an
Wes
entire
says
conversation on Mount Celestia and
Wes
yeah.
says Ariel is baby.
I mean, I think probably Ariel looks
I mean,
younger
I
than Wes.
guess
Yeah.
Ariel would be fairly young, angel-wise. But he's been
He is.
on the material plane for a little over 200 years already.
And we can what here's a train of a little thought to leave with you and then completely abandon it, Colton. If you were a young angel, how are angels made?
This is a question West 100% will ask.
Like how is does Ariel have a mommy and daddy? If
So
so,
if
do
one
they
angel
have-
loves another angel very, very much, do
What-
they go to the garden and they plant a seed in the cabbage patch? And is that how they find a baby angel?
is there an angel stork? Is there birds and the bees
actually-
with the halos? But
I
that's
actually haven't read D&D wise.
you sound
Sure.
like a robot.
Yeah, that you sounded like a robot.
I'm sorry. What happened?
I was saying, like, I've never actually read in D&D like where angels come from. I'm sure they have something written down that talks about that.
Colton, you're an angel.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
We can discuss that at a different time because I have a
I
lot
have
of
my own
things.
theories.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, I have my own thoughts on it. But I mean, I don't know if D&D actually has a set like rule or history about it.
I don't know.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
for sure.
think angels would probably be Barbie dolls. I don't think that they have human anatomy, so I think that they're created through either ritualistic energy or when someone dies, their soul, if they're worthy enough, that being lets them enter into servitude in heaven. But that's just like a very basic, like a thought. But so
like dogma.
Yeah, that's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
like kind of
Taylor said, "Poof, bitch."
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Paylor motet be.
Yes. So
Taylor said, "Poof," and then he yeeted him down. Like, get the
yeet.
Yeah,
with
yeet.
the jumping a little bit back into the conversation of D&D
Yeah.
is written from humans' perspective. The idea, now this is what I was always thinking, and this is where this other YouTuber took that idea a little bit further. So things such as evil in Dungeons and Dragons just means counterproductive to the advancement of humans.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that can make sense.
as an example, let's go back to the easy one, the Black Dragon, who I believe is chaotic evil according to the book. So
I believe so. Yeah.
This is a dragon.
Why does my book only say red dragons?
Oh, red
That's
Because
dragon
it's
weird.
biased and red dragons are like
Red
the dragon
dragons-
that I guess you
red
think
dragons
of.
are-
Goddamn red dragons.
digs. So
They are
Fuck
dicks.
red dragons.
yeah.
Let me look up the
'Cause
stats right
red's super edgy. If this dragon is considered chaotic,
Chaotic
evil.
Yes.
So we can look at it through different perspectives. One, it's chaotic evil because it is a huge creature that takes up so much land, literally reforms the land for its own image, supernaturally flooding the lands, creating a toxic fog. Anything that dies there just turns to the undead, and that's not the dragon necessarily doing it because it's like, and now you're a will-o-wisp. It's just because that is just the energy the dragon gives out. So what?
Yeah.
The dragon should go out into the middle of nowhere where it won't bother anybody and have no interaction with anyone else because our human bodies can't sustain its physical existence so close to us. Is that fair to the dragon? Now let's take it another way. The dragon lives thousands of years. The petty squabble of a dwarf within another dwarven kingdom means nothing to it. It's going to see that king make many, many mistakes that is going to regret. This year is going to be happy it kicked out all the deer from this forest. But next year, that's going to create an unbalance in the forest, and you need those deer back. So, with that perspective, the dragon's existence is physically not letting society for us humans to progress. The dragon is a threat. The dragon's going to, even if we were peaceful, the amount and the volume of that dragon's necessity to eat is going to completely outlive what we do. We can have a farm next to it, but that dragon sees us having a farm like a person going to a natural forest and says, oh, look, an apple. I can eat this apple. The deer are going to be like, bro, that's our fucking apple. We should kill that human. Like, that's kind of how I'm viewing those words as saying that chaotic evil, or evil in general in D&D, is just counterproductive to what humans need. So, let's go back to the dragon. The dragon, and other... This could also be for our specific group on the Friday game, that some people, some players had information that wasn't brought out, and that could have swayed here and there. So, specifically, the dwarf, if you were either to speak to some individuals or dig enough information within the mountains, which some players didn't divulge for whatever reason, they decided not to divulge it, it has been a standard that every other generation or so from the lineage of these dwarven monarchs that gave power to the dukes that run these mountains to start willing away the races that were invading their territory. First it was orcs and trolls and giants, and the last remaining factor was the dragon. So if they clear off the dragon, they literally have nothing to fear. You guys released them from the threat that they didn't know, which was the drow. And so now these dwarves have complete freedom of their mountains because they don't have ogres or trolls or etc. So, hence a high reward. This duke just wanted the dragon out. Now, this duke was born with this dragon being a threat. This duke... his grandfather was born with this dragon being a threat. So when your entire life you hear that this gigantic beast is killing everything, and every time you try to negotiate peace and it never goes well, then yeah, you want to get rid of this evil threat. I mean, the fucker melts animals down when it eats them. That's fucked up. In general. Just a bit. But that's
so does a fly.
That is yeah. I mean, it kind of that's how
small scale.
Yeah, that's how the dragon eats. But when we see it, it's disgusting. It's chaotic. It's horrible. Why would you do that? Why don't you just go vegan, bro? So
yeah, bro, just go vegan.
So the dilemma that I kind of put was, okay, the dragon. I wrote quote unquote. I wrote the dragon as being nature itself. It technically, it does nothing other than pleads itself. It eats when it wants to eat. It walks in the land that it wants to walk in. Again, it took you guys 4 days with the shortcut to arrive to the dragon, seeing how massive these swamps and marshes are. Mumrock, when he gave the letter, and the first discussion was, I only interact with the dwarves when they come knocking to my territory. I don't give a shit about them. But a thing that wasn't discussed, and that was kind of like the moral dilemma was, but the only way to achieve peace is if you give them the dwarves' heads, the sons of the heads of their sons, because all my sons are dead. So when you're talking peace and you want me to leave, and you come into my house and kill my children, there is no peace. I've heard of these other great worms dying, and I see the pattern coming through. You're just killing off all these great beasts, so I'm not going to stand for that. I'm going to defend my piece of the pie. Now, with that, which is like information that the DM wrote that you guys were learning in different ways of your faction to influence what you wanted to do, kill the dragon or talk to the dragon or release the dragon. Like, you guys could have gone a million ways. And not that anything that you did was bad or good. It was just that is what happened, and that's how we went with the game. You had a horde of enemies, these barbarians who wanted to kill the dragon for fun. They just wanted to kill the dragon for sport. Why? You still need to discover that. But the next day,
because Stormlords are assholes.
Stormlords are assholes. That is actually a very simple
That's right. That's less reasoning for it. Fuck Stormlords.
And then you had the Paladins of Heronius. Technically,
fuck those guys too.
Lawful good. I completely wrote Jihaz as an asshole. Because he is an asshole.
It wasn't very.
he's not.
It wasn't very bro of you.
I mean, he wasn't. He is a jerk, but he is a lawful good jerk. Being a jerk does not mean you're evil or good. Like that is a social yes or no. That is a social boo or yay. Just because you he is following his god's code to the T. That is an evil creature. Why? Because it is evil. Yes, it does beg the question, but that is an evil creature. And by the book, it is an evil creature. So, I have to kill it. And Ariel did stop Jihals from sending his men out there for a round. And there was a moment of peace. But through the chaos of the fight, he got hit with arrows. And he says, well, what would Jihals do in this moment? I just got shot with a fucking arrow by these people that I barely know. I know I can trust Ariel in the buttocks. I know I can trust Ariel because I know what Ariel is as an 8th level paladin. Okay, so Ariel, get your men together, organize this because I'm going to kill that beast. And if you get in my way, then I'll consider you an enemy. And with that, it was like, well, the dragon's going to attack. Oriel wanted to negotiate peace, but every single time she said something peaceful and she saw the dragon being like, okay, maybe I can trust these guys, the dragon got bombarded with spells or arrows or bolts or swords. So what is the dragon going to do? You're saying peaceful things and then your friends are attacking me. I've been fighting for the past 4 days. All my children did. I have nothing else to give. I'm going to go out in a glorious fight. So, all that being said, I don't know, guys. Discuss. What do you guys think? I don't think that it's correct to say it was good or evil to kill the dragon. Like I don't think
it just sucked in general to kill the dragon, in my opinion.
I mean,
like it was from West's perspective, he understood that this is a big creature that had to find basically made its own home, and now we're the assholes that are trying to force it out and or kill it. And having a family and all that just didn't seem fair in West's mind, so he 100% didn't want to kill it. So the fact that in the end he ended up throwing the killing blow was just shit. So that's just it just felt a lot like a damned if you do situation, because we were willing to negotiate with the dragon, but with how the situation ended up turning, there was just no going back.
And I know that Ariel saw that there was again, if I'm putting words in Ariel's mouth, please tell me. I think it was like we're going to save a lot more lives if this dragon dies. Look at all the damage is done. Versus Aurea saying, like, again, Aurea, please stop me if I'm putting words in your mouth. Like, this is his home. Like, we're being the jerks about it. So I don't know, what is Ariel and Aurea's thoughts on the situation, or the players? What do you think their thoughts are? Very meta.
Well, one of the other things that that also kind of fueled Aurea's so with the choice that she made was the night before when she was sitting there and actually talking with the plant life there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just thinking now of the repercussions. The dragon's not there. This swamp was able to maintain its habitat in this way because of this dragon.
Well, as Jesus said, it was because the dragon was capable of manipulating the environment.
Exactly. Now I'm just at the same time like...
And Aurea didn't know that, though.
Exactly. But at the same time now it's like, what's going to happen to this environment?
That was a stressful thought as a druid.
It is a very stressful thought as a druid. It's a thought for Aurea.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that because Jeremiah's not physically here, I think that he asked, and I will confirm that to you guys, was he said, well, the dragon roared like in the middle of the night, and he just said no. What was that about? Was that because the last child died? And I'm like, yeah, that's why. If you guys were to come into his habitat in the middle of the night, like let's say Ariel or Ori, who has healing magic, or even Laz, and for some reason you guys went into his place, and like when there was like nobody there to interrupt you guys, and were to at least heal the dragon before it finally passed, then a whole slew of negotiation would have like been there. because it would have been able to trust you before the Dick Paladins of Lawful Good came.
The not paladins.
They're paladins.
No, but they're not pals
Okay, gotcha.
because it's in the name.
And
You're supposed to be a
before
pal if you're a paladin.
yeah,
Bro.
I gotcha. So before I get into the topic of yes, they are paladins. Here is evidence, which is kind of begging the question a bit, but D&D does that. What was Ariel's take on the whole situation?
Well, Ariel being an angel, the dragon is evil. Like, that's just straight up. I mean, out of game, like, not metagaming, the dragon is supposed to be evil. It's a black dragon, so. But in game, I mean, it was giving us the ultimatum that it's going to stay there, and anyone who comes to it's going to get killed, or we have to murder the sons of a dwarf to appease it. And I'm like, I mean, it's both of those options are absolute garbage. Or there's the third option: kill the dragon, and the threat completely. No more people will die ever.
Yeah.
In that area. So it's like, stop 1,000 years of bloodshed for, one evil dragon being killed. So it was a pretty much like a no-brainer decision for Ariel at that point, because he tried to talk to it and just didn't really work out that way.
Yeah. And would you say that if the dragon were to mention something like, the reason why I'm saying this is because I never leave my swamps. The dwarves keep attacking me in my home. They've killed my children. And look what they've done. They're paying you to murder me, a creature you don't even know. Would that have swayed Ariel's conversation?
I don't think so, because I mean, he did mention that. The dragon did kind of mention that in his conversation with Ariel. It's that, I'm minding my own business here, but they keep coming here. And I said, okay, well, what if we can talk to the dwarves? I did say that. I was what if we go back and talk to the dwarves and we have them stop sending people to come kill you? You won't have to worry about that. He's like, the only way there's going to be peace is if you bring me the heads of the Duke's son. And I was like, or the Duke's sons. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's not going to be an option. So,
That was a no-go for Ariel.
Yeah, for sure. So Ariel was giving this creature a chance. It wasn't just like, you come here. Oh, okay, the textbook says it says a CE next to him, therefore he's chaotic evil, and there's no option. We got to kill this motherfucker. Ariel
he was being a real paladin.
Yeah, because like I said, Ariel knows the time to kill and the time not to kill. And I think even reading into like Paylor and stuff, I think they said like the natural enemies in the human realm or material realm, I guess, of Paylor are vampires, because the light, and the very opposite of light.
Yeah.
So like one of the tenets of follower Paylor is to kill vampires, but then I was also reading in depth more about that, and it was saying that Paylor gives vampires the option to turn from the darkness. So it's like so being a paladin of Paylor, I know to give people, a second chance, even if they are evil or they are monsters. That's why he spared the Stormlord. He tried to negotiate with the dragon. So
yeah. For sure. And so Ariel being a paladin versus these guys as being paladins.
He is a paladin.
There is that discussion of how do I word this in a correct way? Okay, so gods in D&D are things that exist. They manipulate the world. Heronius being a lawful good god, and Paylor being a chaotic good god or neutral good, I forget. They're still good. They both give out positive energy, healing. Like they're essentially good things. They're physically manifestation of what it truly means, the form of good. Not our thoughts over should we eat fish on Friday? Is that good or not? Like actual good. What does it truly mean to be good? So these things are entities of that. Heronius has a different way of viewing the world than Palor does. And for whatever it's worth, Heronius is a battle god. Heronius one, it's black and white, like J House says, it's black and white. That dragon exists, therefore it's evil, and I have to kill it. I will beg the question saying, why is it evil? Because God says it's evil, therefore it's evil. Like, and I think that in a world of D&D, specifically, our section of the hemisphere, through like a Judeo-Christian God, where God is all-knowing, all-powerful, and all good, these gods don't have those 3 quotas. You can hide from a god. You can technically become more powerful than a god. You can technically, I hate the idea when someone says that God is vengeful. Like, no, God is beyond the idea of petty vengeance. Like, but Heronius isn't. Motherfucker, you step on his shoe, he's gonna give you a black eye, and he's God. So fucking you get that black eye and you love it.
West says Heronius square up.
So like and that's why I think D&D specifically says they're deities versus they're like a god. Like, which is a different a realm of things.
One thing I like about playing with the deities in D&D is they're essentially their own characters. They have their own ambitions, faults. That can help flavor your story however it needs be.
Yeah, and so here again, going towards ethics and alignment. So if like, how monstrous, and I think that we would all agree that this would be monstrous for like, let's go, I don't know, let's say Janva somehow stepped into Sacred World and was walking the street. Senvin is a character. Senvin's walking down the street, and then G House comes, he says, "Oh, you're a drow, square up," and like decapitates him. And he's like, "Well, I did good today." Like, I think we will all like say that's horrendous. Like, that's an awful thing to have happened. But he's getting spells. He can heal. He has as a paladin, small, but he can communicate with Palor, and Palor answers him back. Palor, Heronius is kind of like saying, yes, that is correct. What you just did, that murderous act, is correct. Like, I would probably hesitate and say, like, well, you know, Heronius is above that, like, what was the context, you know, every detail matters, it's case-by-case scenario. If he just straight up and, like, killed someone just because they're literally dark-skinned, like, that's fucked up, versus this other light-skinned, pointed-eared creature. But the long history of the drow, etc., like we can go back and forth with this theoretical discussion, but these people with power, especially clerics and anything that is considered divine magic, so you're not wizards, there are entities that created existence that is saying, you killing that dragon is a good thing. Trust me, I know. I am a deity. Here's holy magic. Here is non-arguably good casting into you. That, I mean, that's a conversation above my pay grade, but it's an interesting thing to discuss when we're talking about ethics, specifically about paladins and clerics and etc. Because I think if you guys discussed it with the dragon and you guys diplomacy did, and he would probably not move from his swamps. He'd be like, all right, cool. Just please tell the dwarf not to send anyone over here. I'm going to bury my children where I was raised. This is what I want to do. This are my swamps. I've been here before that motherfucker's ever even lived. Before his grandparents even were born. This was my home. So I'm not moving. But I'm also not going to kill anybody. then I was going to feed into the whole stereotype of greed, and like the dwarf like, well, nope, we gotta go kill him, and then maybe another political discussion where you guys needed to like negotiate with the dwarf and see what was gonna happen. The dwarf had a very key set mind of that dragon needs to go because my entire 400 years of living, it is an evil creature. It was an evil creature when my grandfather was alive. It was an evil creature when my grandfather's grandfather was alive. Just as a discussion, and now with West reading the message that Promise gave to, or at least someone naming themselves Promise gave to Fox, saying that Promise was going to be the third great worm to pass from this earth, and you guys Promise doesn't know this because it happened like a month ago in the game. But technically, if Promise passes, it'll be the fourth great worm to pass this earth, because you guys killed one of them.
Very good.
Whoops.
So just as a thing, a food for thought. Also, Fox is a dick, and he's you guys are on his ship.
I love Fox, and I know he
What's up, bro? You're a robot. Yes.
I said I love Fox, even if he's a ghost.
Yeah. What's up, Ariel?
So another thing is, like, I said, Ariel would give people a chance. Like, he's tried to save Drow when we went down there and we rescued the slaves. He healed them, gave them his,
you did.
his cloaks and stuff. But so you do that for anyone, essentially. Vampires, stormlords, dragons, what be it.
Yeah.
But there is a limitation to that mercy, essentially, and that would be demons and devils.
Oof.
I mean, which is one reason why he's so concerned with West's visions.
Oof.
Because he's an angel. That's literally the one thing he's not allowed to, turn a blind eye to.
Yeah.
And being demons and devils, straight from the plains of hell and layers of hell, whatever.
Oh, the dreams aren't that bad.
They're created. So many words.
I mean, hey, I have these dreams, and sometimes I hear screaming, and it sounds like. So it's weird.
Which is a thing that I'm super excited. That's why when Colton, you said, "Can I be an angel in this campaign?" Like, this is actually the best campaign for you to be an angel. Like because we're going to tackle, I think, even harder questions as the campaign goes on. Because Ariel, it is a fact. Ariel is an angel. Ariel comes from Mount Celestia. These are not. What is it? No, Ariel is an entity that was created with compassion and peace and love and purity.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that is where Ariel came from. And this, even if he was just a normal tiefling, even if the story didn't progress where it went and he stayed a tiefling who was just an alcoholic, he has fiendish blood coursing through his veins. He has a blood that comes from the abyssal or hellish plane. Like, that is a thing that is indistinguishable. And I know that when we were discussing a little bit earlier on Vic, on your games, on like at least again, if I'm putting words in your mouth, please stop me. The whole idea that quote unquote racism is eliminated in your world, which is fantastic, and I love that idea. In my game, it's a little bit different, as we're fucking discussing right now. Ariel has purity coursing through his veins. Yeah. Diz has hatred and blood and anger and all these negative emotions, just evil coursing through its veins. This was born this way. Ha. Ariel was born that way as well. Like these are not these are deterministic things that are true. Ariel was born in a realm of purity. Dis maybe not born in the realm of evil, but has blood coursing through its veins from a realm of pure evil.
Yeah, and that's also the thing is that's why. So Ariel, he's
neutral good, I believe is what I had, or chaotic good.
You have chaotic good. I remember we ask every week.
Yeah. Yeah, he's chaotic good, but his version of good, isn't necessarily the same version of good as like West's or the rest of humanity's, because he's not of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's define chaotic good.
Please.
Which is the thing that's I love about D&D, because exactly what Colton just said.
Yeah.
Ariel's not from this plane of existence.
Yeah.
The same thing an Illithid would find good would be alien to us. I think an Illithid would be like, so let me get this straight. You treat that four-legged animal with love, but this other four-legged animal you eat, why don't you treat that one with love? Like, it's completely bonkers to it. Like, they both have a brain. They're both food, right? Like, I don't understand why that one doesn't get the same treatment as that one. We should just slaughter its meat and eat the brain. I don't understand. Or an ooze just being like, everything's food. Glorp, glorp.
Glorp, glorp, bitch.
Glory to glorp, glorp. Glory to bloop. Bloop.
Glory be to Bloop.
Oh, fucking Bloop. Oh, I forgot about Bloop. I mean, Illithid being like an extreme example, obviously. But things like, dragons would have a completely different view on how the world should work based on their thing. Like, a black dragon is born and automatically people want to kill it. And when you guys a little bit of that discussion was given off, and I think it's fair for you guys to like in game say it as well, because everyone like, oh my god, I did not know that. When you guys discovered that Jamal, this is Ariel hearing for the first time, Jamal is a dragon.
What?
Jamal is a
Yeah, he hates us now.
He fucking hates us, bro.
Let's not put words in his mouth. Jamal is a young copper dragon.
That's who we saw.
Yes, so that's the person you saw. Which Vic was like, "Oh my god, you said he had a copper." Yes, he did have copper skin.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you described him with coppery skin, you motherfucker.
Yeah. So Jamal, and the reason again, Jamal was there to do something, which because of how the interaction happened, he didn't explain himself because he didn't feel like he needed to. But when you guys came. When he came over, the first thing that the player said was, do we shoot that one too? It is a dragon. So Jamal just sees people he trusts and loves and trying to make a business with Orc Death over there. And like, oh, you just killed this thing. You killed someone that is like me. And there's very few of us out there. Oh shit, okay, I thought this was going to go differently. Alright, well, let me go down and discuss it. What do you mean you're going to shoot me? Just because I look like him? No, fuck that. Let me leave. Because now my life's in danger. Because as much as Jamal is awesome, Jamal can't take all you guys on, including the paladins, including like it's too much. He's way weaker than a gargantuan dragon. So that's why when you guys came to him, he was just pure mad, and his wife had to be like, I know he has a temper, he's young, forgive him, which hint, because he's a young dragon,
he's a baby,
he's a baby, he's like a 40-year-old baby. And
here's a fun chat.
Yeah. What's up?
No, I was saying in chat, Noman is a copper skinned half orc, also a shape changed copper dragon. That's cool.
Oh, hey, that's lovely. That's cool.
That's a fun character.
Yeah. That's cool. And so Jamal's wife, the dwarf, she's older than him. She's been through it all with him because dwarves are technically long-aged creatures as well. That's why she's like, oh, don't worry about it, he's young. But she didn't mean like, oh, he's young as a human. It's like, I think you guys already know. And he's saying like he'll get over it, but right now is not a good place for him. We should have done this a long time ago, but we stayed here because we thought it was a good idea because they knew what the Dwarven King wanted to do. And Jamal had a lot of faith in you guys trying to solve this without nobody dying, but it didn't happen. So, like, not that, like, Jamal never came to you guys and said, hey, this is the situation. Go, don't kill the dragon because my feelings are gonna get hurt. Like, that's not at all what happened. And people do what people do. Creatures do what creatures do.
Yeah.
Even dragons can shed a tear. So he's like, I'm gonna go visit Promise, like I knew I should have when T left, when Fox was leaving. Like, we're all gonna go visit our friends. Because now you know why they were all heading across halfway throughout the world to go visit this one small island by themselves if they had to. As Vic saw that there is a dragon in that island named Promise who apparently is about to pass away. And so everybody of his friends is going to go say hi to him or goodbye to him, however you view it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of wanting to interject on
Yeah.
perception of black dragons as a whole. Because I wanted to bring this up from my campaign. I've run this game like 3 times. And every time I have faced the players with the decision of, you have these 3 black dragon eggs. What do you do with them? You have been opposing a cult that is essentially evil, and they are working with dragons who are evil. And so you are presented with these unborn dragons who, depending on how you see it, could also be evil. What do you do with them? And I've noticed 3 out of 3 times, everyone has decided to save the dragons and not, destroy the eggs. So I'm wondering, I guess, if that plays more. I'm trying to think how to word this. Is that just the player decision of understanding that, like, it's getting a little meta into the player being like, no, they're babies, can't do that, or is that like a conscious character?
That. I think it's 100%. From Fox's perspective, there is a big argument of Fox views beast and animals as to a higher living standard than let's say a human. And he said many times, I don't understand these social cues. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you just fucking eat with your hands and shit where you want to shit. Like that. Why do you have to build this giant hassle? Like, it's taking away oxygen from the world. Fox is more of a monster than anything because he's a gigantic fucking turtle. So Fox,
also a crazy old druid.
He is a very crazy druid. Legitimately, he is insane. Hopefully, we'll start seeing his dimension in a minute.
Yes.
But he views these dragons as children because there's no other way for him to view them. I think that a lot of us, when, like, because I had this conversation with my bae, and when I was telling her about the situation with the dragons, she was like, yeah, of course you save the black dragons. They're the cutest of all the dragons in the player in the monster manual. And like, that's a very, like, I agree. They look really fucking cool because they do, because they're a mohawk.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where, like, that's not the character making the decision now.
It's not the character, it's the player.
I really think, and especially now how our social media dictates a lot of things, is like, let's make things cute. Let's give this spider googly eyes. Let's we're gonna play with our dogs. I think all those factors have leaked into the game and said, we need to save these dragon eggs. I really think 95% of the world would have said dragon eggs, those are bad. Maybe I don't want to smash them because I don't want that on me. But let's give them to somebody who will.
Right.
So, like, as Vic said about, like, saving the dragon eggs, it's like, I mean, we've seen that. So, like, Ariel wanted to kill the big dragon. Didn't want to kill, but felt like he had to kill the big adult dragon because it's fairly evil. And it's been raised to be that way. He doesn't believe, unless you're a demon or a devil, he doesn't believe you're born evil. Like, that's just not even a thing to him. He thinks everyone has a chance. And we see a great example of that when he adopted Tarsius and Cordelia.
Yeah. That was a big moral thing at the beginning. Like, these things are monsters. What do you want to do?
Evil creatures, yeah. Like, and that's like a big thing. And he doesn't care what. Or let me rephrase that. He does care what his God thinks about it. But at the end of the day,
I don't care what Paylor thinks about me.
Yeah, he's not gonna. Wes doesn't think what people care about West in general,
Correct.
which is amazing. But like that's like he's not going to kill Cordelia or Tarsius or any other young child just because they have a perception of being evil. He will, however, kill demons and devils because they're created to be evil. But that's not the case for like Cordelia and Tarsius and a black dragon. Essentially, it's
which is
you
like
can raise them or teach them to not be that way.
Yeah, which is a conversation of like
They're not
nurture
inherently
versus nature.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
which in of itself is a gigantic philosophical conversation about deterministic factors. So if which like we won't discuss, but technically when you start arguing like, well, it's a demon or it's an angel, therefore it's good or it's bad, then none of its actions, as the second that energy exists, none of its actions can ever be placed on them because they're evil or they're good. So if a devil was created, it never had a choice other than to be evil. So to kill it because it was born that way is completely messed up. As to say an angel because it was born that way, we should praise it. Which, again, going to the nature versus nurture conversation, a dragon being born, it never had a choice on its brain chemistry, on its where it was inhabited, the neighboring mountains, like factors that are beyond ever it being alive have already determined that this dragon is going to be an evil creature. That is such a, like, not that doesn't happen. Like, we do that all the fucking time because we're unperfect creatures. But that, like, that when you start branching into those conversations, which, like, I'll never make a character that thinks that way because it's gonna ruin the game. Because I've had it, and the other players were like, no, like, this isn't fun. Just kill the fucking orc. Like, all right, here you go. It's just a thought. It's a good thought to have in the back of our minds, as at the end of the day we're still going to roll to kill the orc because he said some bad things and he does worship Orcus, and I think that's kind of bad.
Just a little.
It's a little bit bad. Just
a little bit. So I have a question, just going off the hypothetical here.
Yeah.
So on the scenario with the black dragon and whether to kill it or to do negotiate or whatever, how would you think, I guess flipping it to my Horde of the Dragon Queen players, how would you have handled that situation?
One more time, please.
Okay. So, for the situation that happened in Sacred World, where we had to confront the black dragon and try to either negotiate or kill it, how do you think your character in Horde of the Dragon Queen handled it?
I would have called the dragon a pussy. I would have told him to man the fuck up or woman up and fucking get over himself. And if it wanted to have a conversation with the Dwarven King about peace, fucking do it yourself, you goddamn coward. You're obviously strong enough to fucking mow down these people. Just, it sucks. Take your children somewhere else, recuperate, take a week off, come back, show the Dwarven King, look at all my dead children. What the fuck? Let's talk, because I will eat you right now. And I'm not. Fox likes to cut to the chase of things. It's I think Fox views the world a little bit how I view morality and ethics. Nothing is good and nothing is bad. It is just a choice you make at that time. And in hindsight, it's 2020. If you knew this was a bad idea, you would not have done it. We live in a unfortunate deterministic world where we cannot see the determinism being started. So we don't know what the end result's going to be. Fucking make the one that's going to take yourself out of the equation. Make the choice that you know is going to be the least damaging overall. Stop wasting my time.
I have a follow-up question for that for Fox on his viewpoint on that, but I want to hear from John, Grayson, and Ophelia.
Yeah. Ophelia's on the chat. She hasn't said
she
anything.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys would have done against the dragon?
Yeah.
Grayson would have just walked away. It's not his problem.
That's a very fair thing to do.
That's a very Grayson thing to do.
Yeah.
She would have tried to made friends with it because it would have been the coolest thing she's ever seen. but Yuli would be like, "What the hell?" And he'd go like against it. He's like, "Really, really, I need a rage before I get this."
I can just see you be like, "It's a dragon," and Ophelia be like, "I know, but did you see its horns? It's a fucking dragon. It just melted that dwarf." "Yeah, but like, we can still be friends." "No!" Picks her up, starts running away.
We're getting paid enough.
Yeah, I'd be that kid, like, "Don't touch it," and I'd want to try to touch it.
Yeah. 100% their relationship, and I love it. Java.
Aside from panic right then and there.
Well, besides panic right then and there.
Oh yeah, you worship Bahamut. This thing is
Now she worships Bahamut.
This creature is innately evil towards your deity.
Yeah, Bahamut, worshipping Bahamut, I believe, is a for Janva.
It is actually a very new in this, because for the longest time she's worshipped Tiamat, so...
Da-da-da.
Oh, God. Panic is just going off
Panic.
and, like...
Just panic.
Panic.
Beyond panic, what can we do? What would Janva do?
I guess even though she has 0 modifier in charisma, she would have...
Janva doesn't know her stats.
I'm just saying as me thinking.
Yeah.
Probably attempt to talk it down. That's all she can think to do and would do.
I love how you have 2 characters that would 100% talk down the dragon.
Shut up.
That's great. So, Fox, on that whole thing you mentioned about morality and it being a decision of the moment and knowing that it's not truly right or wrong, it's just what you did in that moment and so on and so forth. How does that reflect with things you told me about Fox's backstory with specific people in his lives that were in his life?
Okay. Without ruining too much of his backstory for the people that are playing the game.
Yes.
Fox is tired.
Okay.
I subconsciously put a lot of myself into Fox. He's just fucking tired of the world. It's not my problem, but I cannot go to sleep at night knowing that you are hungry. It's not my problem, but I can't go to sleep at night knowing that there's a fucking dragon who's being a dick and destroying this castle. Like, I just want to sleep. I just don't care anymore. I really... All right, I guess I'll get a fucking Tiamat. Okay, who's this bitch? Like, I don't care. I really don't care. It's your problem. But if I don't do something, then there's a million people are going to die. Plant lives going to die. Animals can go extinct. It's going to undo the world. I just don't care anymore. But I have to do something, because if I don't, then I cannot go to sleep. Because I can't go to sleep because the thoughts are in my fucking head. And I need to just go to sleep at night. So I'm going to try... Well, Spud is a very physical representation of that. Like, Spud is his scapegoat. It's I need to make sure Spud's okay. It's a lot of his scapegoat to just say, the day that Fox feels that Spud is fine and does not have to worry about Spud is the day Fox will steal a ship, because ownership is a dumb thing in his mind, because he's a jerk.
I know where this is going.
And he's just going to sail off.
Excuse me.
And right back into Sacred World, apparently.
And back into another campaign. Again, Fox is a very sad character. He's an extremely depressed individual. And a lot of like myself is written in that thing, where it's just like I have an over sense of empathy, I've been told, towards anything, animals, people. That's why I don't like. That's why I'm vegetarian. It's just I don't care. I really don't give a shit that that this is happening in the world. But I can't go to sleep at night because my thoughts keep fucking going back to this goddamn subject. So let me do something about it. And Fox physically has the power to do something. Like, Fox, if Fox did not have his druidic abilities, he would have just sailed off into the ocean and roasted and said goodbye. but he can do something about it. And it's that thought of him in the middle of the night where I could have done something about it, but I didn't. That's going to eat him inside. So, even though he, not that, no, I can fairly say Fox doesn't give a shit about anybody in the group. Not really. He also doesn't want to see them harmed. There's a difference between not caring and not loving them. He doesn't want to see them in pain. He sees that they're trying to do something beyond themselves, and that's amazing, and he wants to help with that. But at the end of the day, he doesn't give a shit about the petty squabbles that they have. Because it's not important. It's not.
Right.
Grayson, you have a son. That's whatever. That's so minuscule. And this 5-headed dragon bitch fucking not letting my baby donkey sleep or go eat or fucking go in a city where it's illegal for him to be because he has hooves. So that, I guess, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that kind of answers the question.
Okay. Fox is a weird guy.
Fox is a weird guy.
We love Fox, so.
I don't
So
know
how
if
do
we
y'all
really
deal
should.
How do y'all deal with shifting morality?
Ooh.
I think that's always a fun thing.
Because we've dealt with a little bit of that with Aurea, but I don't think it's really affected much anyone else in the party so far.
Yeah, I think, oh, we are red. Are we not live anymore?
No, we're still live.
Okay, I have a red message that we're dropping frames even though nothing's happening.
Okay, I see that we're still live on the account.
Cool, awesome. All right, and we're green. Maybe it was just for a second. I like the.
There's Tiamat.
There's Tiamat. The way that your Star Wars DM handled the situation on like Siths and Jedi's, because like that's an easy thing for us like to get our minds around Sith and Jedi. I that's how I feel. If you're fine in the game, let's say you killing technically is an evil thing, right? Shifting morality is fine until it becomes a problem to tell the story for us having fun. Once you go dark side, then we cannot have you. I think Fox is tiptoeing on that really heavily for the Horde of the Dragon Queen because he did fucked up things.
It was
and it's unexcusable.
Yeah.
It's completely unexcusable. We are offline?
Yeah.
Now we went offline.
Oh. Damn it.
I guess we're back.
Are we?
On my end, it says we're back. Oh my god. It's like nothing's happening. These frames
What the
need to... I don't know.
Weird.
Okay.
Odd.
All right. It says we're not dropping any frames, but we have a red.
Yeah, Mark.
Hey, chat. Can you let us know if we are not live? If we are live?
Please let us know if we're live because we're confused.
Waiting 30 seconds. Yeah, on OBS disconnected and reconnecting. Wow, that was loud.
That's nice.
We live? Question mark.
Leland, how do you think Alistair would have handled the dragon?
I guess we're live. Oh.
He would have probably talked to it.
No, it says we went offline.
Yeah.
He would have been a bro.
He would have been a bro. Be like, yo, bro, what's up? Probably would have annoyed it out of its cave.
Alistair's really good with empathy. He would try to see it from their point of view.
Should be live again.
Mm-hmm. He's a sweetie. He'll make him tea.
Aww.
And probably try to convince him an alternative way to do things.
No. Let me just write that note down.
Wow. that pounding. Sorry if we got disconnected and we are reconnected, especially for our audio listeners on Spotify in the future. There's going to be 2 awkward cuts in the middle of our conversation.
2 awkward cuts.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, we've gone past our 2 hour mark that we set ourselves for.
Yeah, we did.
Is there any last minute things that we want to discuss in our never ending discussion of what does it mean to be good or evil?
No, not that I can think of.
You think I'd have good questions for this? Damn.
It's a hard. It's like
It's
in of
it's
itself,
such a
it's a hard topic.
shifting. It's such a shifting topic because there's like so many angles you can approach it at.
Yeah.
Sorry. I do remember before we cut off the whole Jedi and Sith thing. Only because I don't know if it was recorded or not. Only when it becomes a problem in the table, as in you are pure evil and your methods are against the party, then or you're being a dick, like a person I knew who was an archer drow and just enslaved this entire party.
Woof.
I know that guy sounds like a dick. I should never play with him. Like if your motives go to that, where it's counterproductive to the first thing of D&D, which is having fun.
Yeah.
Then you're like, that character is out. That character is now an NPC.
I feel like that if you want to play, especially if you want to play a character who falls within the evil alignment, that has to 100% be an open discussion with the DM and the table on how they feel about it and how they think it would affect the campaign and character goals. Like if it's something that, it's like, hey, that'd be fun. I totally want somebody to be an adversary for me and just completely crap on every turn I go through.
Like it's yes, but also I think that a thing that I did say at the beginning of the game, and I completely agree. Conversations and talking things out is the best way to run your table. Please always have that. But also take in mind of a situation where that I've read about old school D&D, where like a doppelganger like takes control of a player, and that player and the DM have that discussion in private, right? Or like a Sith infiltrating the Jedi Order. Like have that conversation in private, because that adds to the story. But once it becomes my lightsaber goes against your lightsaber, after that encounter, whoever was playing the evil character, I view, which again, this is just my table, not everyone will think the same, that guy, now that it's meta, now that like as soon as you know something, you can't unknow it, right? So like as soon as the rest of the party knows, holy crap, you were the guy who was sabotaging us? Oh my god. As soon as that session is over, then that guy cannot be that Sith Lord anymore. They have to create a new character. And if the Sith Lord died, cool. If they live, then now you have a new villain.
I think I told you about it a little bit, but I mean, for our listeners, when I was playing that EOE campaign, and it was about, I think it was 4 of us, myself and another one of my friends, we were Jedi Padawan learners. The other 2 were playing as clone troopers. It was the beginning of the Clone Wars. So like our first couple sessions were prepping and going to Geonosis to save Padme, Obi-Wan, and Anakin. But we got there, and it was a trap for us, and a lot of Jedi died, including my character's master and my friend's character's master, and then a couple other notable Jedi like Ki-Adi-Mundi and Aayla Secura. They all died. And things throughout the rest of the game, for a while, a couple like IRL months, just kept going wrong. Our missions supposed to be routine, take this outpost back from the Separatists and destroy the droids. I encountered, like, we split the party, and the clones went one way, my Jedi Padawan friend went another way, I went a different way, and I encountered a Sith Lord. Sith Lord absolutely kicked my ass. Like, took my lightsaber from me, cut my arm off.
Oof.
And EOE, it's really easy to lose limbs, which is ridiculous. But anyway, so that happened. Another mission down the line, I ran into the same dude again. He stole my new lightsaber and kicked my ass. I go back to our Star Destroyer, and I go to my quarters with my Jedi Padawan friend, and I guess now we're knights, and I see my lightsaber deconstructed sitting on my bed, but it's missing the crystal, and there's a note from the Sith. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I get Master Kit Fisto says, okay, you can have my my lightsaber crystal for your lightsaber just for this, the next, couple months. So I get a letter or a message, I guess, a holo message from that Sith Lord. And he's saying, come to these coordinates. We're going to settle this. And I go to the council and I'm talking to them and I say, look, I have to do this alone. This is, all I can do. So I go there, I fight him, I lose both my arms and get absolutely wrecked. And then I'm rescued by the Jedi afterwards because the Sith spares me. And then another couple sessions later, we're all hanging out and we go on a mission again. And we're getting surrounded by droidicas and stuff, and it's looking really bad. And my friend is like, my Jedi friend is like, all right, I'm going to make a lightsaber attack. And I'm like, yes, go Zonkizo, kill the separatists, whatever. And next thing I know, he rolls like a triumph, and I'm like, hell yeah, triumph, good job. And then our game master looks at me and says, roll from the critical table. And I'm like, what? I'm like, why would I roll from the critical table?
But why?
He's attacking the separatists. Why would I roll? And I look over to my friend, who's been my Jedi friend for the last 4 or 5 months IRL, and he just gives me this sly smile. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, it's you. You're the Sith Lord. And he starts laughing. And at that very second, the game master says, hand me your character sheet, and he controls the Sith Lord from that point forward.
Oh my god.
That is incredible.
That is
amazing.
amazing.
It was the most amazing plot twist. And now his character being controlled by the game master becomes the campaign nemesis. My friend rolls a new Jedi and ends up killing his old character.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Oh, yay.
I'm not playing a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it sounds like so much fun.
I think the best part of playing like any type of RPG or something like that is where you have those kind of moments, and also the moment where you're sitting there, you're facing a huge challenge, and you just have to let out a giant sigh and be like, that's not what my character would do. They would do this, and then you're just pained and watch them jump off a cliff or something.
Yes. Yes.
Not calling anyone out specifically.
So many times I wanted to read notes, read books, and I couldn't. So painful. But now I can read.
Now Sadie gave me the ability to read, and
Sadie,
I can
let
read.
me read. See, Ariel, this isn't so bad. He taught me how to read. As Wes looks at you with completely red eyes. That was probably my proudest moment from last session. Was I was sitting there and reading a whole book. Like West is reading a book.
It's like, this is scary.
Don't see that every day.
Yeah.
Ariel, West voluntarily went to a church.
Oh, he
Excuse
did.
me, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ariel was technically with Colton, you and I before the game we need to talk about some things because you're
okay.
Ariel went to go deliver the horn of the tooth of the black dragon to get y'all's reward, which is quite a bit of gold and a lot more gems. And West needed answers. So in the Dwarven Mountains, they're like, well, for what you're looking for, probably the best places to go is to the Church of Morden, the Dwarven god. So West went to a church voluntarily and read a holy text willingly.
He did. He actually sat down and read.
For about an hour, he was reading a holy text.
What church was it?
Church of
Morden.
Morden.
Yeah, it's the Church of Morden.
Close enough. I'm so proud.
I am immensely proud of him. Because it's god, I hate it and I love the challenge of the character because I know he has a good score. Like he's stupidly smart for a barbarian, but it's also taking into effect how he grew up, and it's like, okay, because he grew up in the mountains and he was secluded, he's not going to know a lot of things other people naturally know. So I have to work that into his character,
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's fun but frustrating because I can't word things the way I want to word things.
I like when there is that visual moment in our games, and I get to see because the DM, so I get to see all y'all's expressions when Vic wants to say something, but Wes gets in the way, so Vic just yells, "I don't know."
The rage is real.
I love our collective oh shit moment we have. Sacred World.
You
They're
guys,
so
Like,
fun.
with one of my favorite ones, and I feel like it needs to just be redrawn with all of our characters.
Oh, you telling me to do something now?
No, I'm not. I'm just throwing it out there. It was the entire because I have the screenshots saved somewhere.
Oh, the oh shit moment where we identified the book. I remember that.
Yeah.
And everybody's face when we realized the kids were
Shit, the children.
Yeah.
We have like 5 HP. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
the kids are in the room.
everybody.
There's a couple of art projects that Vic and Lynn had told me that they want to draw, and I'm like, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
There's so many projects, bro.
So yeah, that's why I hesitate to ask for anything, because you guys are drowning in your art.
Well, fuck you, because we're all getting new character cards. Because I have better to do with my.
Of course. Oh, and just for a thing, I want to see how you guys because Dickie wasn't there, so like he couldn't RP. But how would you have handled his increasingly distant drunkenness, which is a very relatable thing for West?
Oh, that's right.
And then what he called West.
Yeah, that was a moment.
I can't wait to see
why he straight up dropped his head on the table.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh shit, bam.
Yeah, fuck. What the shit? No. I think it was like, I know Wes understood it as, oh fuck, Reefer. That's weird. And it's gonna take a minute for him to process. Wait, he was talking to me. So that's a whole other thing to unpack later.
Yeah, because you guys have been like traveling for a month, and we kind of sped that up because it was towards the end of the game, and we just needed to quote unquote move the story along. I'm very excited to see how that unfolds.
I'm very excited to see how that unfolds. I'm very excited to see things play out in Horde of the Dragon Queen, because y'all are heading to Waterdeep, and it's gonna be interesting.
Waterdeep.
You don't have to go find it. You don't have to.
I have to.
You have to.
Oh,
Jesus,
God.
Jesus has to. Fox.
So just to clarify, how long has it been since our party in Sacred World left Fangwood?
Ooh, month, 2, 3. I would say 3, maybe leaning on 4 months now.
Oh man, that's a long time for those kids to be left alone without us.
Yeah, they have a good support system there though.
They're fine.
They're fine where they're at.
In
They're not.
Hey, fun fact, Horde of the Dragon Queen squad, y'all have only been traveling together for about a month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it feels way longer than that.
I know.
Yeah, because Ariel, Wes, and Aurea have known each other for almost 2 years now, I think.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
about.
Aurea and Wes probably longer than that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oreo, West, and Ariel knew each other. Oh well,
It was within like, I don't know, like maybe by a few days, but yeah.
Okay.
Which was honestly a blink of an eye for Ariel, but
Yeah.
Wow, that means that the amount of time on this scale means significant amount for the only human in the party.
Yeah, it is weird.
Thank you,
yeah, you are the only human. I never thought about that.
Grayson. We're gonna go sit over here and just ignore these weird immortal beings.
I don't know if Grayson would be okay with you sitting next to him.
Nah.
Oh.
Oh, the audacity.
I think it would be like,
How dare you
what
speak
gives
to
you the right to sit in this chair?
How dare you speak to me?
Oh.
Or it's just one of those things
Chaddington
where you
and
just
Grayson definitely.
Chaddington and Grayson. Oh God.
Mimosa brunch with Chaddington and Grayson.
Oh,
That
fine.
sounds
Oh my god.
like an epic fucking movie.
We can get Shane in here, and he can speak for Grayson.
Oh
And it would be
god.
amazing.
I think what can go wrong?
I think we should that's a thing. I want to see happen.
Future film? Is that what we're...
Future film, or we can do like a recording.
he's already got his like little animation. It's almost there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, practically done. It's practically done.
You just gotta animate Chaddington, and it's perfect.
Oh god.
Have that one musical score playing in the background.
Vivaldi Spring. On constant loop forever and ever.
Yeah.
Oh man. I fear the world where Grayson and Chaddington are in the same room discussing things and throwing money at their problems. Oh my
Thank you,
God.
notes.
All right, y'all. We've gone way beyond our
Wait.
scheduled time. Yes, you have a thing.
Oh no, I was just saying way beyond. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Right.
We have 2 unusual cuts, maybe even 3. So sorry for our audio listeners on
Yeah.
on the Spotify. But yeah, thank you so much for a very small, brief discussion on ethics and morality
Yeah.
in the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I'm sure that we can go on for days about this and end up
Yeah.
nowhere.
Months,
Yes.
years, eons.
No, there's an entire schooling
No,
for
yeah,
this.
no.
It's called
I know.
philosophy. It's where I went to school and learned that there's nothing I can do with my degree.
Oh,
I mean, you're doing something with it now.
Getting paid.
We'll get to that.
as much as anyone can hope for.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll say adios
See y'all next time.
to you guys. Yes. Next.
Oh god, dog. No, dog.
Doggo. Next Monday will be Horde of the Dragon Queen, and the Monday after that we'll continue on with this stream, and we'll see what other shenanigans our players do and our DMs allow. So we have another discussion. All right, adios, everybody.
17th.
All right, bye.
17th.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.